Today we are going to start a new chapter biomolecules. मराठीमध्ये याला जर आपण पाहायला गेलो तर याचं नाव आपण जैविक रेणू असं म्हणलं तर चालेल. जैविक रेणू biomolecules are the very interesting chapter. It is having a study of proteins, carbohydrates, nucleic acids, lipids, hormones, which are present in cells. Generally, biomolecules are, when you observe towards the biomolecules are the important material for the human being as well as the living organisms. Every and each living one have requirement of these biomolecules for the growth of that living kinds. Biomolecules are very important for the growth of all types of living ones. But here we have to know a point that biomolecules generally when we observe biomolecules are, the fact it is, these are non-living materials. These are non-living molecules which are important for sustaining the life. Non-living material, it is useful for sustaining the life. Biomolecules आपल्याला सगळीकडे प्रेझेंट दिसतात. आता जनरली बायोमॉलिक्युल्स जर आपण पाहायला गेलो बायोमॉलिक्युल्स मध्ये हे जीवनासाठी फार आवश्यक आहे, पण प्रत्येकामध्ये ते प्रेझेंट असतात. ज्यावेळेस आपल्याला एखादा जिवंत व्यक्ती आहे किंवा एखादा डेड इंडिव्हिज्युअल आहे त्याच्यामध्ये सुद्धा सेम कंटेंट बायोमॉलिक्युल्स आर प्रेझेंट. दॅट्स वाय when we observe biomolecules, these are the most amazing thing about the biomolecules, that it is the non-living material which conduct the life, which is useful for the living ones. Biomolecules are the lifeless molecules which combine in a specific manner to produce life or to control the life. Biomolecules are lifeless molecules. These are generally lifeless molecules which are useful for conducting or controlling the lives of living ones. When we observe the exact study about the biomolecules which are generally present in the body of human beings or in the present or these are present in the cells, that are carbohydrates which are useful for the which are having a source of energy, proteins which are important which are present in the form of ribonucleic acid as well as deoxyribonucleic acids. Also we are having the presence of lipids, hormones, nucleic acids which are present in the cell wall, in the nucleus. These are some biomolecules which can be studied in this chapter by us. Mainly we are having a study of carbohydrates, proteins, nucleic acids, hormones in this chapter. Also we are conducting the study of enzymes in this chapter. So firstly the biomolecules. In the biomolecules we are firstly going to study about the carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are these are generally considered as hydrates of carbon. These are generally considered as hydrates of carbon. Carbohydrates, this one is the energy which is given by these biomolecules to the living ones. Carbohydrates, which are generally considered as hydrates of carbohydrates. Before the actual study of carbohydrates takes place, hydrates of carbon. Generally, we observe towards the hydrates of carbon. For example, suppose I am taking here glucose, C6H12O6. This is the molecular formula of glucose. This is the molecular formula of glucose. It is written in this manner: CxH2OY, C6H2O 6. This molecular formula, it is applicable to glucose. It is also applicable for C12H22O11, which is of sucrose. Sucrose, we are considering it is as CXH2OY. Here C12H2O11. This one is applicable for these compounds. It means generally these are known as hydrogens of carbon, but there is no actual presence of water. There is no actual presence of water. We are drawing this one is the general formula. But when we observe about these general formulas, the Ramones have the molecular formula C6CH12O5. This molecular formula or this general formula it is not applicable for the Ramones. It means it is having a limitation about the hydrogens of carbons. This general formula is not applicable for all types of all the biomolecules. Some biomolecules are having the application of these formulas in the form of, this can be written in the form of CXH2OY. But when we actually observe towards the hydrogens of carbon, this molecular formula is also applicable for acetic acid CH3COOH. It means C2H4O2 CXH2OY. It is given as C2H2O2. This acetic acid is not a biomolecule. So this definition of this concept hydrogens of carbon it is not applicable for the carbohydrates. Then what is the actual definition of carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are actually, these are optically active. Carbohydrates are optically active polyhydroxyaldehydes or polyhydroxyketones. Carbohydrates are polyhydroxyaldehydes or polyhydroxyketones or such compounds which on hydrolysis gives us such units or which yields such unit on hydrolysis that are known as carbohydrates. Either these are polyhydroxyaldehydes or polyhydroxyketones or those compounds which yield polyhydroxyaldehyde or polyhydroxyketone on hydrolysis. These are generally considered as carbohydrates. I am writing here definition. Carbohydrates are polyhydroxyaldehydes or ketones, polyhydroxyaldehydes or polyhydroxyketones or compounds which yield such units on hydrolysis. This one is the definition of carbohydrates. When we observe towards the carbohydrates, generally carbohydrates are most of the carbohydrates are sweet in taste. As these are generally sweet in taste, these are considered as sugar. Carbohydrates are generally considered as sugars. As we all know about the sucrose, which is made from the sugar cane. Made from sugar cane. Sakar variety sugar cane. Also, it is sucrose. This is obtained from the beet, sweet beet. We are having the presence of sucrose at the sugar cane. Also, it is present in the sweet beet. Sucrose, it is sweet in taste. Most of the carbohydrates are sweet in taste, so these are generally known as sugars, and the Latin word it is of the sugars it is saccharine. Saccharine it is used for indication of sweet taste of the carbohydrates. It is considered as saccharines. So generally biomolecule carbohydrates are considered as saccharides. These are considered as saccharides. When we observe the carbohydrates which are either polyhydrogenaldehydes or ketones, or those compounds which on hydrolysis gives us the formation of polyhydrogenaldehydes or the formation of polyhydroxyketones, that are considered as carbohydrates. These generally carbohydrates are sweet in taste. The saccharine it is used for the indication of the sweet taste of carbohydrates. So the carbohydrates are generally considered as saccharides. Now the classification of carbohydrates. Classification of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are classified on the behavior of hydrolysis of the compounds. Carbohydrates on hydrolysis, how they behave. On that basis we are having the classification of carbohydrates. Firstly, you have to consider here that carbohydrates are classified on the behavior of hydrolysis, but by using the saccharide term. By using saccharide term. These are mainly classified into two classes: simple carbohydrates as well as complex carbohydrates. But we are having a detailed study about the classification of carbohydrates on the basis of behavior on hydrolysis. Classification on the basis of behavior of upon hydrolysis. First one, it is monosaccharides. Monosaccharides. This one is a simple carbohydrate. Monosaccharides are those molecules which are not further hydrolyzed. For example, glucose, fructose, galactose, etc. These are some monosaccharide means, or these are monosaccharides are generally considered as monomers of the carbohydrates. Monosaccharides, which are simple carbohydrates, which are not further hydrolyzed, any further hydrolyzed to have the formation of other monosaccharide units. These are considered as monosaccharides. For example, glucose, fructose, galactose. These are not further hydrolyzed to any monosaccharide units. Second type, it is the classification of carbohydrates depending upon the corresponding of number of units which are present on hydrolysis of that saccharide units. Second one, it is oligosaccharides. Oligosaccharides. When carbohydrates which are on hydrolysis gives us about 2 to 10 number of monosaccharide units. Carbohydrates which on hydrolysis gives us 2 to 10 number of monomeric units, 2 to 10 number of monosaccharide units, that are known as oligosaccharides. Depending upon the yield, we are having the further classification of oligosaccharides, or which are further classified as disaccharides, trisaccharides, tetrasaccharides, pentasaccharides, hexasaccharides, heptasaccharides, octasaccharides, nonasaccharides as decasaccharides. If we are having the presence or formation of two monomeric units by hydrolysis of carbohydrates, then that carbohydrate is known as a disaccharide. 3 monosaccharide units, it is considered as trisaccharide. 4 it is penta, 5 it is 4 it is tetra, 5 it is penta, 6 it is hexa, 7 it is hepta, 8 is octa saccharides, 9 it is known as nonasaccharides, 10 it is decasaccharides. These are the general classification of oligosaccharides depending upon the formation of number of monomeric units, number of monosaccharide units. For example, the best example is sucrose. Sucrose on hydrolysis gives us the formation of one molecule of glucose and one molecule of fructose. Glucose and fructose. It means two monosaccharide units are prepared here. This one is considered as a disaccharide. It is a disaccharide. The third or the further classification of carbohydrates, it is a polysaccharides. Polysaccharides. The carbohydrates which are on hydrolysis gives a large number of monosaccharide units are known as polysaccharides. For example, starch, cellulose, glycogen, etc. Starch, cellulose, glycogen, these are those polysaccharides which gives us a large number of monosaccharide units. Starch, it gives us the formation of a glucose, large number of glucose molecules. Cellulose, which is present in the plants, it is present in the cell wall of plants, that gives us the formation of different compounds. But they give us a large number of monosaccharide units. Glycogen is present in the body of living ones in the form of storage of glucose or in the form of energy storage. It is present also in the content of mitochondria, which gives us the glucose on hydrolysis. These are the polysaccharides which gives us a large number of monosaccharide units. So these are generally considered as polysaccharides. Monosaccharide, which are not further hydrolyzed to smaller units. The generally monosaccharide units are well-known monosaccharide units are up to 20 monosaccharide units are present here. Oligosaccharides, which are on hydrolysis, gives us 2 to 10 number of monosaccharide units. Also, the further classification, it is polysaccharides. Polysaccharide gives us a large number of monosaccharide units. This one is the general classification of carbohydrates depending upon the behavior of carbohydrates on hydrolysis. When we hydrolyze the carbohydrates, how they behave, this classification it is depending upon them. But when we observe simple point here, monosaccharides and oligosaccharides, these are generally considered as sugars. These are sweet in taste. But when we observe towards the polysaccharides are non-sugars. These are not sweet in taste. These are non-sugars. Monosaccharides as well as oligosaccharides are generally considered as sugars. Now, when we observe towards the nomenclature of the monosaccharide units or the nomenclature of carbohydrates, depending upon the presence of aldehyde group or ketonic group, these are classified or these are named as aldoses as well as ketoses. The basic name of these compounds, carbohydrates, Carbohydrates are generally considered as glycols. These are named as glycols. Glycols. This one is the basic name of carbohydrates. The further carbohydrates which are considered as, for example, suppose I am taking here glucose. Glucose is have the molecular formula C6H12O6. It have presence of 6 carbon atoms. Also, it have the presence of an aldehyde group. Aldehyde group is present, so it must be considered as aldohexose. It is named as aldohexose. Fructose, which is having the same molecular formula C6H12O6, it is named as ketohexose. Ketohexose. These are names. Generally, these are names are given depending upon the number of carbon atoms and the presence of either presence of aldehyde group or presence of ketonic group. If we are having the presence of aldehyde group, these are considered as aldoses. When we are having the presence of a ketonic group, these are considered as ketoses. Aldoses which have the presence of aldehyde group, ketoses which have the presence of ketonic group. These may be considered as aldotriose, aldotetrose, aldopentose, aldohexose, aldopeptose, aldooctose, aldomonose, depending upon the presence of number of carbon atoms and the presence of aldehyde group. When we are having the presence of ketonic group, these are named as either ketotriose, ketotetrose, ketopentose, ketohexose, ketoheptose. These are the general namings used for naming the monosaccharide units, depending upon the number of carbon atoms and depending upon the number of aldehyde or ketonic group. So, this one is the introduction of carbohydrates. In the next lecture, we are going to study about the actual first carbohydrate, it is glucose. Thank you.